Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Wave the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka Mini Wargamer Kris, aka The Name Butcher, aka all out of AKs. Wave the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun. If you're a first-time viewer, we do a lot of painting talk as well as a lot of what's under the sun, meaning no topics are barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. So that's a bit of a warning because sometimes Kris can go off on a tangent. And so if you're attending live, you can ask your comments or questions or what have you in wherever direction the chat might be. And if you are not able to attend live and you're watching this after the fact, you can ask your questions to Kris at miniwargaming.com. It's in the description below. Of course, it's a Kris with a K. And also in the description below is a link to wavethebrush.com. That is the central hub of all this silliness. It has links to all the social medias, the Twitters, the Instagrams, and other stuff, as well as Discord. Discord's been really fantastic, so join us on Discord. We basically keep the conversation rolling all the time on Discord, and so feel free to join us there as well as Wave the Brush on Facebook. Again, all the social medias, right? Just everybody's probably just sick of all the social media stuff. And of course, also at wavethebrush.com has links to t-shirts. You want to get yourself a t-shirt, look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world, they're wearing a Wave the Brush t-shirt. And for everybody who's purchased a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine. And in fact, I'll probably add it to the intro at some point when I get around to updating again. And so, what I would like to have is a whole intro of just all the monkeys and just everybody looking happy and it'd be fun. Wouldn't it be fun? It'd be fun. Every week, see your mug up on there. Why not, right? So, wavethebrush.com also has links for Patreon. Patreon support has been fantastic. Big thank you to all my patrons who currently support me. Without their help, a lot of these things just wouldn't be possible. Site maintenance and all these other additional costs that come along with, running this kind of thing. And so a big thank you to them to always, for their support and helping me improve this show. And if you're considering patron support, I only ever charge per Wave the Brush, which is, every Saturday typically, except today, of course, because special occasion, whatever, right? And so, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into, when I'm asking for support. I do produce other videos that I don't charge for, like just the tip, which is kind of like quick tips, but more focused, narrowed in, right? So Patreon support. So big thank you to everybody and for everybody else considering it. And if you're not able to support monetarily, that's fine as well, because you can always thumb up, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell, all that other stuff, and follow, and on Twitch and everything like that. And so, yeah, there's all those options that are available to everybody. And of course, a big thank you to Guy Mir Alfer, aka Carl, aka Beer and Blood Bowl. We always have to say thank you to Carl because he created the email jingles that play before the email segments of the show, which always brings a smile to our faces, at least I think, and blows out our eardrums. But I think that's more my fault. But anyway, big thank you to Carl. So Beer and Blood Bowl, that's his YouTube channel. Check him out if you love yourself some beer and Blood Bowl. And I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't love themselves some beer and Blood Bowl? I mean, my God. And so, yeah. So today, as you may have guessed from the title of the show, is I am going to demonstrate for you guys a few other things that might pop up as far as the new Citadel Contrast paints are concerned. Something went wrong on this page. I don't know why, but who's joining us today? I can see Trucker Preasley, Awesomer, hoping to buy a whole set of the Contrast. Very, very cool. Raziel over on Twitch, yo. Old Man Logan, hi Kris and monkey friends. Kris's tangents are legendary. Yeah, sometimes half the show could get bogged down in a tangent. So you get me riled up about something, and I'll go on about it for a while. Old windbag, I guess. Sophie Wild, hi monkeys, hi Kris, hi Sophie. Warbuster, hey Kris, hi all, hello. Sean Price, hi. I'm having trouble painting Tau skin. Do you have any tips for me, please? Tau skin? Yeah. Typically with Tau, they're kind of an off blue, right? They're not like bright blue. They're more of an off blue. And I think really one of the best colors to use for Tau is something along the lines of either Dark Reaper or the Dark Space Wolf Gray. What is it? The Fang? I don't have those colors available right now at the second. If I went and grabbed them, I'm pretty sure it's the Fang. The Fang works really, really well as the beginning, and then work the highlights up. Now you can either go with just a slight like blue grays, kind of like Space Wolves, but you can also bring a bit more contrast into it by using a shade wash like Drakenhof Nightshade, which is a dark blue, and you can apply that to the skin. Not too heavily, just let it creep into the recesses and, get the edges of the skin, and then come back in with the Fang, reestablish some of the highlights, and come in. You could even probably use Dark Reaper, create a little bit more highlight, and then, you probably could come in with like a really light gray. It all depends, on how far you want to push those highlights on there. But yeah, that's often what I would use for Tau Flesh, is that dark blue-gray. I wouldn't use a pure blue. You could use a pure blue and go for like a bright blue. Joshua Gross says the Fang is the darkest blue-gray. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, so I was pretty sure that was the darkest. And you can hit that with Drakenhof Nightshade, which is a dark blue shade wash. You can hit with that, and then repick it out a bit with some of the Fang, and then use like Space Wolf Gray or Dark Reaper or something along those lines. And you can bring it up to as bright as you want, all the way up to Lutheran Gray. But if you go that far, I would definitely just be doing just tiny little dots on, here and there, and and things of that nature. So it really wouldn't go that far, right? But yeah, it all depends on how far you want to push it, right? So hopefully, Sean, that kind of helps. Hopefully that gets you kind of, okay, this is where I can go with it. Reziel over on Twitch. Am I the only one on Twitch today? I don't know. Are you? You might be. You could be. Who knows? Ruben Matinov. Hi, Kris. Hey, everyone. Hello, Ruben. Lieben Russ. Demonstration. Just slap it on. Slap it on. You just slap it right on. Just right on. Like you're slapping a ham. No, wait. That's the wrong expression. Lieben Russ. Looking forward to working with them. Yes, I would imagine everybody is getting really excited for these paints. Some people are just right on hating them. I don't know why. I don't know how anybody can express any kind of dislike for the contrast system when they have not played with them. If they have played with them, then sure, okay, then it's a valid opinion to like or dislike, right? But if you haven't played with them yet, how can you express any kind of dislike? You can express disinterest, sure, right? I mean, you're not excited about them, whatever, right? And I'm sure a lot of experienced painters out there are going to be like, okay, yeah, I get it, they're transparent, and and it's not for them, and that's fine, right? But everybody else out there who's been really intimidated as far as getting their models painted and getting a pretty good job on their models, this system, I think, is going to offer a lot for those people, because it makes painting relatively painless. Relatively. You still got to be careful. You still got to be mindful of what you're doing. It's not just like you can, just take your model, open up a bottle of paint, and just dump it on, and it's fully painted, and look at all this, and you know what I mean? It's not going to work like that. It's just that's not how it's going to go, right? So, let's be realistic here. Reziel, so you were in a tournament yesterday, Kris. How did it go? The tournament went well. I had fun. Played everybody. Everybody was challenging. We only did 3 games. It was ITC for anybody who does, tournament play. I played my Eldar. I basically took 2 Outrider detachments, Conclave and Farseer, and then 5 groups of 4 jet bikes and one little squad of 3 jet bikes. And all the jet bikes were equipped with scatter lasers. First game, won against Admech. A lot of line of sight breaking terrain, so I was able to kind of scooch around and hide, and and avoid a lot of the guns. Second game, similar situation against Astra Militarum. basilisks are a huge pain in the butt, and it wasn't until like near the end of the game that I finally got a chance to deal with them. But I won that game. And then last game was against basically Ultramarines. And that was, the table was pretty wide open. And he basically bricked up and was just basically just shooting me at distance. And not a lot I could do against that. And he had won the final game. And so, yeah. And it basically I got tabled on the last turn. So, yeah. Happens. It happens, you know. But yeah, I mean, you know, I do like ITC because most of the time they are about board control, which is why I changed around. And I was talking about this on Discord with a few of the monkeys because we have a list discussion channel in there. And you know, because initially my list was really, really small, and I knew I'd probably get dominated on objectives. And if against the Admech and Imperial Guard, if I had brought that list, yeah, they would have won if I'd have brought that list, because I wouldn't have had enough guns to deal with, you know, all the bodies. And so, yeah, it was a better call. Thank you, monkeys, for taking just what I wanted with a bunch of jet bikes, and you know, so. I did better than I thought, but, you know, it was fun. Didn't get best painted. Ben, some of you guys that follow Mini Wargaming, you see Ben a lot. He took best painted. You know what? I didn't even see what he brought. I was just so busy and stuff, so I didn't even see what he brought. But, you know, congratulations to Ben. And, yeah, but it was a lot of fun. Had fun. That's the important part, is have fun. And when you attend these kind of things, don't be a dick. You know, we're playing for fun. It's not like, you know, I mean, I realize some people are really, really competitive, and sometimes I get that way, and I understand. It's a competition of sorts, but there's no reason to be a dick. You can be a good winner. You know? So, yeah. Lieben Russ, is there a contrast blue to help Space Wolves look like rust gray? Yes, there is. There is Space Wolf. Here, let me switch cameras here real quick. There is a Space Wolf contrast gray. In fact, while I'm on this camera here, let me adjust the focus. That's not a proper sense, I realize. Let's go about there. How close do I gotta be? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Why does that feel so... The color looks so weird? Or is that me just being nitpicky again? Is that me being nitpicky again? Where's my white balance? I think I played with that last time. There we go. Optimized. Speaking of nitpickiness. But yeah, so there is a Space Wolf Gray that is available. And is there a lighter tone? You can pretty much hit a model, I think, with just this. And I was hoping to get Luca on camera last week for the painting reactions, because he wants to do a Space Wolf model. So I do want to do a Space Wolf model, and I would like to demonstrate that today. But I mean, I guess I could demonstrate, because the reaction video is more or less his reaction to painting. So, you know, maybe we'll demonstrate. I don't know. There's a few things. I mean, really, like, let me know, guys, as far as like what kind of things would you like to see today? Because again, it's kind of why I'm here. I got all the paints in front of me here, and you know, I can pretty much show you guys whatever. I even have the sprays. Where's the sprays? The sprays right there. I have the sprays. So if you need to know anything about those sprays, got it all going on today. Ben Ellis, hello all. Just watching the show before heading out. The gray is definitely the Fang, yeah. Gustav Rangstrom, love the channel. How's the purple? There are three purplish colors. There are... That's not purple. That's not purple. Where's the dark purple? Purple, there it is. So there are three purplish colors. They're more of like, you know, magenta, but the really purple is this stylish purple, right? Then we have Voluptuous Pink, which is more of a magenta, but it's still on the same direction as purple. And then Majos purple. And yeah, those are the three purples. Or purplish hues. Because you have two other reds. You have a yellow and an orange. But there's a brown that kind of gives... Well, Nazdrake yellow is kind of a darker yellowish tone. You know. Nazdrake. It almost looks like snakebite leather almost, because it's kind of like a dark yellowy brown kind of color. You know what? I haven't even tried how it looks on the surface yet. I suspect actually Nazdrake yellow might actually be a good Imperial Fist yellow. I suspect. I don't know. That's just a suspicion, because here, let's see if that shows up on camera. See the inside the cap. See how the yellow is, but see how there's a slight brown hue to it. So I'm wondering if for everybody out there who does Imperial Fists, who wants a bit more of a brown yellow as opposed to an orange yellow, so it might go that way. I don't know. Goomba Paints. Hi, Kris. Hi. Sean Price, thank you so much for that. Yeah, no problem, Sean. Yeah, so, yeah, I would go with the blue-gray tones for the towel flush rather than a bright blue, because, yeah, it'll look funny. I mean, I don't know. Mikey R. Hey, just come over from Uncle Adam's show. Yeah, I know he usually doesn't do a show. I caught a bit of him this morning as well. I tune in for Adam all the time. It's fun to listen to him. He's got a really great sense of humor, and if you ever get the chance to meet him in person, he's how you see him on camera. Is pretty much how you see him. Kind of like myself, I suppose. What you see on camera is pretty much what you get, other than I curse more in real life. I mean, I could curse a lot on this show if I wanted. I don't, because it makes it kind of hard for anybody who's listening at work, or they're listening on a bus or something like that, and they're listening to the F word, F this and F that, and you know what I mean. And who wants to listen to that kind of show? I mean, you can't enjoy it, because then somebody's going to get offended, right? So, whereas we keep it relatively PG, and if I just keep my conversation relatively normal, whatever that is, anybody can enjoy it, right? So, Diavo PL, damn, forgot way of the brush. Kris, try contrast on black primer, especially Dark Angels 1, please. I did show last episode how it looks on black, but spoiler, it does not look as good. So I will quickly show you right now. So you can see here, and I had shown this last episode. Let's turn this light up just one more titch. There we go. I had shown this last week. Where's the focus? There's the focus, right? And this is on top of black. Now, this model looks pretty darn bright right now because there's a lot of light shining on him. But, as you can see, there's a little bit of red on that shoulder pad. And there's red on his helmet. The red on the shoulder pad was 1 coat. And on his helmet was 2. It was actually a fairly heavy coating on the helmet. Okay? So, if you're thinking of priming your models black and using contrast paints, be prepared that the colors are not going to be vibrant and they're going to be really, really dark. Okay? Because, as I've stated before, contrasts are transparencies. They're transparent colors. They're designed to work on top of bright primers, which is why the new primers, Wraithbone? Yeah, it's Wraithbone and Gray Seer. And the Grace, and so here I might as well show them together. Where is he? Get over here. So, having a look at the two of them side by side. These two guys. Oh, let's turn this light down. It's a little too bright. So as you can see, Gray Seer, which is this is Wraithbone, and this is Gray Seer. Okay, they're really, really bright. But this one, the Wraithbone, has a bit more of a warmer hue to it, and Gray Seer obviously has a bit more of a gray to it, blue-gray to it. So, yeah. And these don't actually look quite like on the camera. I'm wondering if that's the light. Because again, let's go with white balance. Yeah, let's go with the white balance again. Actually, you know what? That is pretty. Let's go all the way to. No, that's too warm. Too warm! Let's go all the way about there. Let's try that. Yeah, it's a little closer to what you see. So this one here, again, it's Wraithbone. It's essentially like Screaming Skull. If you're playing with Citadel colors, it's a really light off-white. And then Gray Seer is kind of like Uthran Gray. And so, yeah. It's kind of hard to tell in these lights. But yeah, so. So hopefully that answers your question. Lieben Russ, how long did it take to groom your mustache? Well, I usually do it right after the shower, and I use Firehouse grooming wax, and it's made from this place in Mississippi, I'm pretty sure, Mississippi, and fantastic stuff. It was highly recommended to me. I gave it a try, and I really like it. And they offer in a tacky, where you can kind of keep playing with it, or they offer in not tacky, which is it just dries like cement or hardens like cement. But you got to like warm it up in your hands and then apply it in, because it's a wax product. But that's how I keep. How's my mustache look? Yeah, my mustache looks okay. How's my hair? Trucker Presley. Yes, sir. It's pronounced like Elvis. Elvis Presley? Okay. Ben Ellis, I haven't used the new paints, but more options are always a good thing, especially for this hobby. Yes, definitely. I mean, is everybody going to go rush out and get these paints? Probably. Are they going to be the miracle tool that a lot of people have, I think, built up in their minds? Probably not. And anybody who has really high expectations of thinking that these are going to be the end-all, be-all of paints, going to be disappointed. And those people who have that built up in their brains, they're going to be the ones who are going to say these paints suck, because they had it built up in their mind that this was going to be the one thing that was just going to make their models look terrific. And it can, but you know what I mean? Set your expectations just down a little bit, okay? These aren't magical. They're not magical. They're great. They're not magical. John J. My dad gave me the same advice, relationship advice. Play with it first, then form your opinion. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. Scarlet Sliff. Hey Kris, first time I'm actually able to catch you live. I'm making Sylvaneth in a spring theme. Any idea on getting kind of a water effect on the bases, lake running through or such, like a lake running through or such, like rivers and or at the edge of a lake or something like that? Yeah. Okay. The first thing is, I have not played with it myself, but I noticed Green Stuff World has jumped right on this new product, which has been around for a bit. It's UV cured resin. You see it for UV printers, like the 3D printers. It also is advertised as a adhesive. You basically apply this resin down, use a UV light, and it bonds parts. In that capacity, I wasn't that impressed with it. But Green Stuff World has been advertising it and as a water effect. And you lay a little of the resin down, and you clear it with the UV light, and it looks good. It does the trick, and it pools and it flows. Not like a thick resin, but a fairly thin resin. But it's not like water. Another option I like is, do I have it available? Of course not. I'd have to dig for it. But anyway, is Liquitex Heavy Gel Medium. Okay, Liquitex Heavy Gel Medium. That stuff, you can buy it in a big tub for like just over $10. I think it's less than $15 for a big old tub of it. And you can spatula a little chunk out and lay it onto the base. And it's really great for building up water and also creating like waves. You can do that at the same time with this stuff. You can also tint it. When you get it in the tub, it looks like milk, like thick, heavy gel. It's gel. Like you can sculpt it and stuff like that. But when it dries, it's clear. And so, and of course you can throw, and you can probably throw in this stuff into it and get a clear water effect with it. Like there's a lot, like this whole paint range is like a transparency range, and so I mean there's so many values here that there's so much stuff we can do with these colors. But anyway, and another one I like for doing water effects for shallow water, you can use it to build up for a deeper water effect, is Pledge Future with Future Floor Shine, but now it's just advertised as Pledge. And you can pick that up for like $10, and you get a big old bottle of it. And I like that stuff. You can apply it by airbrush or paintbrush, and apply it and get a water texture or a water finish, and it'll dry. Like if you do a few thin layers, you can get that to look like glass, where it just looks like a calm water, and it looks really, really nice. In fact, I did this guy here using a combination of the two effects. He's kind of dusty, but anyway, I did a combination of the two effects. I did Future on top, and then I used the gel medium, and I added just a little bit of pigment to the gel. The color variation you see on that base is done by airbrushing the color. So I created those deeper tones with brighter tones, but that was pretty much how I knew where I wanted to place my waves and stuff like that, like just the little ripples in the water. And so as you can see there. And anybody wondering, this model is from Spellcrow. Anybody who's wondering. And in fact, yeah, we did this as a paint along, didn't we? For our patrons, for my patrons, I should say. We did this as a paint along. And I actually entered this into a competition last summer. And placed third. Or no, placed bronze. Placed bronze. Not third, but bronze. But yeah, it was nice. It was fun. You know. And it was the only model I had recently painted to any kind of better standard. I usually don't spend a lot of time on models, just nature of my work. So yeah, it's very rare for me to actually get a model to like a really display type standard or anything like that. So it was fun, and hopefully the patrons, when we were painting along, we learned stuff. Hopefully they enjoyed it, and yeah. Anyway, again, tangents. Just go off on tangents. Old Man Logan, for what I've seen, the new paints look very versatile. I think they can be put to a lot of good uses, like any paint. Just can't wait to try them. Yeah, same here. George Hintz over on Twitch. Hello, hello. Dr. Zentos, hello. Greetings and salutations to Monkey Lord. Thank you. Reziel, I'm not hating on the contrast system, but I'm not excited. It's not aimed at a painter like myself. It looks like something I can use a bit here and there if I feel like experimenting. I'll be glad for the hype to die down. I don't know if the hype will die down, because GW is going to keep pushing this paint line for years, because this is their new thing, and GW makes things very accessible. So these paints make it very accessible for people to get into the hobby, get people painting their miniatures. So I doubt their hype train on this will die down. And I mean, again, without having played with them, I mean, it's kind of hard to form an opinion of them, because I mean, you're only going by what other people are saying, myself included, right? Here I'm saying that they're really fantastic to a certain degree. But again, I mean, if as an experienced painter, I mean, if you use any transparencies to achieve any kind of effects, that's what this stuff is. So, I mean, like, why limit yourself? You know what I mean? With a preconceived notion of what these things are. Like, why limit yourself? Joshua Goss. Scarlet Sliff. Secret Weapon makes a great water effect called Realistic Water. If you order some, grab the bundle with the crushed glass. Makes great snow. Yeah, I've never used the crushed glass. I've been meaning to pick that up, because I know Secret Weapon does sell that, and I know the Secret Weapon has great variety of pigments they offer, like in varying shades and stuff like that. It's really fantastic. But yeah, that's another one. Yeah, water effects. Oregon UK, haha, join just as Kris says, don't be a dick. Well, don't. That's just general rules of life. Just don't be a dick. Like life's too short. Like, you don't want to be remembered as a dick, right? I mean, like, you know, being an ass, sure, right? But don't be a dick. Don't be a dick, be an ass. I don't know where I was going. John J, episode 253. Don't be a dick, play with it first. Yeah. Old Man Logan, tournaments always bring out the dickishness, sadly. I don't think some folks realize that they're being dicks. No social skills, hashtag. Yeah, that's a possibility. It's a possibility. I mean, there is a certain stereotype that goes along with wargamers. So, that's possible. Reziel, I do want to see it compared to an alternate way of achieving the same results. Like, what do you mean? Like how a Space Wolf looks like next to a Space Wolf? One contrast, one without? Yeah, I'm sure Games Workshop will... I'm sure they're probably sitting on a bunch of those things where they're going to show you the two side by side, you know, with one being taken, done in 5 minutes and the other one taken, half an hour kind of thing, right? I'm sure they're going to do it. If not, I'll make a video. The Baron, I'm curious how the Reds look. Thinking about starting a Blood Ravens army. Yeah, there's a Blood Ravens color. Or no, it's Flesh Terror's color, sorry. But it's kind of Blood what is it? Blood Ravens, yeah. Yeah, the Flesh Terror's red. This one, very, very deep saturated red. It's really, really nice. I like it. And in fact, yeah, now I'm kind of thinking. Because if you went with the red on top of the gray sear, the gray should play through and knock out some of the color vibrancy, right? See, it's all these kind of speculative color theory on how colors interact, play, and because these colors are transparent, you always have to consider what's under the contrast color. So that always has to be a consideration when using these paints, and so that's why they recommend you just, use Wraith Bone or Gray Sear. I was going to say Wraith Sear and Gray Bone, but anyway, yeah, so you always have to consider. So a black prime, as I've demonstrated before and shown again, you're just not going to get... I mean, if that's the effect you want, by all means, go for it, right? But it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be what you want, what you're looking for. Because, again, these with these colors, you have to consider what's underneath. And so the brighter you go... So white works great because white is just as bright as you can get. And you can push the colors in any direction you want from that point. The colors do mix, and so you can create your own shades with them. Not shades, but like different variations of hue. And so you can also go into it that way as well. John J, what is your opinion? Is the shelf life on Citadel paints in general? Oh, this is going to be this system. I think is going to be around for a long time, because again, like I said, Citadel. Our Games Workshop, they want to make this accessible, right? That's why, like, when you look at the box art, right, of models, the box art, that's not an unachievable paint job. You can do that. And with a system like this, you could probably go about achieving that relatively easily. Not easily, but you can go into it expecting similar kind of results. Are you going to get that same level of nuance? No. That's always going to come with experience. Creating the perfect color blends, again, that's experience. That's not the paints. That's not the materials. As I've said many, many times before, it's not the materials that make the artist. It's not the brush. It's not the paints. It's not whatever tools they're using. It's the artist themselves. Okay? That's who makes the big difference. And so it's up to every artist and everybody out there to play with these colors and find out what works best for you. But I think these are a great gateway for people who've been afraid to paint to get into painting. And I think that's the point of these. And that, by far and large, is the big market. And GW's a business. They want to make money. So yeah, they're going to push this. So I think they are going to push this. Now, having said that, speaking of shelves and these paints, I did notice with these colors, now this could be because these are early production run. I don't know. I don't think so. I did notice that the pigment does build up on the bottom. And some of the colors sat on my desk without having moved. And so some of the pigment does gather at the base. You just give them a shake and it clears right up. And that's with any paint. That's just the effect of gravity. It's going to pull. It doesn't mean the colors suck or they're weak or whatever. If anybody who's played with them knows that the color saturation on these is intense. But that is something to consider. I notice it on colors that involve white, like this, the Apothecary white. It had a fairly heavy ring of what almost looks like white pigment on the base, and a few of the other lighter colors. There was a green, I think one of the blues. Oh, the Space Wolf gray definitely had it. One of the blues also. Oh yeah, Ultramarine blue. Ultramarine blue. You can probably see just barely. Let me see if I can show this on camera. You can kind of see. I was giving them a good shake, but you can kind of see just that little light swirl there. That was a pigment, and this whole base was that color. So people getting into this paint system, bear in mind that when they sit on your shelf, even after a week, you got to give them a good shake. Shake them up for a good minute, because the pigment will settle in some of these colors. Some of the other colors, it doesn't seem to be an issue. It seems like whatever colors involve white, and but that's it's just nature of paint. I mean, like I like Vallejo paint, but Vallejo paint, because it's a thin body paint, the pigment falls down to the bottom, and you got to give them a good shake, right? It's just like any paint. Any paint, the pigment will fall. Why? Gravity. Gravity pulls on that pigment, and it falls through the medium because the pigment is heavier than the medium. Probably why Games Workshop goes with a heavy-bodied paint as opposed to like Vallejo, who's a thin body, scale 75, these thinner body paints. Citadel goes with a heavier body paint, probably because they know that their paint's going to sit on shelves longer, and so they want that pigment to stay suspended within the medium longer. It's probably why they go that way, because they know that their paints are going to sit on the shelves, and but they want them so that person can just kind of give it a quick shake. Oh, it's mixed, okay, and start painting, right? Again, it's all about accessibility and appealing to the most common denominator. I would speculate. I don't know. That's just based on observation. Old Man Logan, how many contrast colors are there? I don't know, it's like 30, I think. I don't know. Let's go with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 34. 34 colors. Plus 3 mediums and the 2 base colors that just get rebranded. But it seems like there's a whole bunch of colors getting rebranded, so that's not a big deal. Dr. Xantos, is this your new office, by the way? Yes, this is my new office. I'm still mostly going to be doing my show from my lair as opposed to the office. But it's just because I had all these tools and everything here, and I didn't feel like bringing them all the way home and bringing them all the way back and blah, blah, you know what I mean? So I just, come here. The only big difference is, it's at home. Oh, and last time I was in my lair, remember I was getting weird internet issues? Well, hopefully that's all fixed. So I could have done the show from home today, but again, I had to bring all these paints, and bleh. So I just didn't feel like doing it. Who's got that kind of time, for God's sakes? Paul Orgris, I'd love to see some blending like Power Weapon or STH Stormhammer. Is that what that means? Not sure. Mad Hoser, afternoon all. Can only stay long enough to subscribe. Well, thank you, Mad Hoser. Yeah, I gotta see if I'm missing anything here. Okay. No, I'm okay. We're okay. Okay. Might have to jump through a few of these comments here. Davo PL, Kris, please check contrast paints on dark primer. I did. I showed you what it looked like. Again, it's because these colors are transparent, so you always have to bear in mind what's underneath, right? So if you go dark, your colors are going to be dark, and because they're transparent, you have to bring in other colors to sit on top to be brighter, because these colors are just not going to reflect all that back at you. Does that make sense? Oh, sorry, I have to jump through some of these here. Brandon Michael Javier. Does the contrast paints, when applied to a have a matte finish? I feel like the washes somehow may end up being glossy if left alone. Okay, well, I'm glad. When I first initially played with these colors, when I was invited to Games Workshop, when I initially played with these colors, they dried with a matte finish. And I didn't like it because at the time, I still am, playing with metallics. And I had recommended to them that they should have a gloss finish because that way they can sit on top of the metallics. And if you want a matte finish, you can always apply a matte on top. Right? Because when you're finishing, it's better to apply a gloss finish, and then if you want it matte, to apply the matte on top, rather than apply a matte and then try and put a gloss on top, because oftentimes the gloss just does not sit on top of that matte finish and does not give you your vibrancy. Because anybody who's ever tried to use shade washes on top of metallics, like regular shade washes, they dry with a matte finish. It kills the metallic luster. That's why shade washes came out with gloss versions, right? Null and Oil gloss, Egg Wax gloss, which is great, and Reichlin Flesh Shade as a gloss. Because though the glossy finish preserves the metallic luster, right? So I'm glad that these do finish with, they're not glossy, they're satin, but they're closer to gloss than matte. That makes sense. Like, okay, if you have gloss and you have matte and there's satin in the middle, they're this way towards gloss. I don't have a third hand. If I had a third hand, wouldn't you freak out if I did that and there's a third hand comes up? Everybody would be like, what the hell? Old Man Logan, how close is Vallejo light gray primer to gray sear? I could not tell you. Oh, light gray? It's probably, light gray is probably just a little bit darker. It's probably just a little bit darker. Because like gray sear, it's pretty light. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's pretty light. Like this is Wraithbone here and this is gray sear. So it's pretty light. But Vallejo light gray, yeah. That would work just fine. I'm just trying to speculate as to, yeah. Because remember, if you want bright colors, you can't get any better than going with a white primer, right? If you want it nice and bright, you got to prime it white. So white prime, when using these colors, is probably your best option all round, because you can always build the darker colors. You can always build darker, but if you want it bright and quickly, now mind you, like I said, these are not the end-all be-all paints. These are, these are transparencies. So if you've used transparencies before, this is an old game. You're already well established as far as playing with colors in that regard. But as long as you know what you're getting into, right? So, yeah, these aren't a miracle. There's not magicals. There's nothing magical about them. Just transparent colors. Mythenfear? Watercolors on steroids, yeah. Matt Hoser on Twitch. Hope to get back into the hobby once I can find some free time. Well, you can only ever have free time if you ever take time. No, how can we ever have free time unless we take time? Ka King, what is the best brush for contrast? It all depends. Best brush is whatever brush you're using. I use the Shade Wash brush a lot, just because I like the bristle length and the size, and it works pretty good for applying these colors, even just on like Space Marines, right? So it's whatever size of object you're doing. If you're going to go in carefully and pick out like individual things in contrast colors, you want to go with a smaller brush. You want to do big surfaces, like I did the Stegodar Carnosaur, the Lizardman Carnosaur. I actually finished this, and I did the gold just so people could see, right? Spoiler. This is entirely, other than the gold bits on the model, everything else is contrast. This is entirely contrast. This took me 40 minutes. This is 40 minutes of work, other than the gold. And the gold was probably about 10 minutes, maybe. But yeah. And, I mean, it's tabletop. It's not winning any awards. But, I'm sure some of you guys are probably going, "Oh, Kris, I'd like a close-up, please." Here, let me try and get them all in frame. There you go. Okay. This is 40 minutes of work. If this is acceptable to you, for 40 minutes of work, for this size of model, then this stuff is the kind of stuff you want in your collection. Right? So, this is 40 minutes. The tutorial on this will be up soon. I was hoping to have it up for yesterday, but just didn't happen. A little disappointed in that. But anyway, yeah. 40 minutes of work. And we were talking brushes, right? So, yeah. I only used, the large base brush from Citadel. This brush. Yeah, I might as well just keep it on this freaking camera setting, right? Yeah, this is the brush I used. You see, it's kind of narrow. I didn't wash it. It's busy, man. I'm rushing. Come on. Come on. I know. Bad Kris. I know. Supposed to wash your brushes, right? So, yeah. But that's 40 minutes of work. And for a big old model like that, that's a big model. You know. Reziel over on Twitch. Kris, I didn't expect GW will ever stop promoting them. I meant the amount of attention it's getting from painters like yourself. I feel like it could take its place in the normal lineup of your tanks and not center stage. Well, no, because it's brand new. So yeah, it's center stage. And I was invited to Games Workshop to partake in the early stages of this. Well, late stages, I should say, not early stages. The late stages of this. And I was very appreciative of that honor. And I mean, if I didn't like this paint system and I wasn't excited about this paint system, then I wouldn't be talking about it. But I am excited because, as many of you guys know who follow me for a long time, that lately I've been on a big metallic kick, and I was very excited for how these are going to go with metallics. And Kris has got a lot of models to get through, and I've started Deepkin. And I might use these on some of the Deepkin stuff that might help me through getting them done. A lot of times, I don't paint to display standards very often. And so, I do game a fair amount. So, yeah, the gamer in me is very excited about these. The painter in me, excited about a whole new range of transparency colors that can be applied by brush or by airbrush. And these are very, very thin. They go through the airbrush just fine, as some of you might have seen in just the tip. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's why I keep talking about it. Because, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed them. I like them. I'm excited. And I firmly believe that these are going to be around for a long time. These are the kind of thing that people are going to keep talking about. People are going to keep talking about it because for the same reason that people fell in love with Devlin Mud, right? When the shade washes first came out, Devlin Mud, same reason. The same reason, because it made paintings less of a chore. Are these things a miracle? Are they magical? No. But they make life just a little bit easier. The funky music man, Kris, which contrast color would you suggest for Deepkin Flesh? And is there a blue matching Thousand Suns blue? Okay, well, Thousand Suns blue, yes. There's a great color for that. I love it. It's what I did that Carnosaur in. And I forgot I changed cameras again. Talisar blue. This is fantastic. You can put, to get a nice rich Thousand Suns blue, you can put 2 layers of this down. Look how bright that is. That's cyan. This is just bang. It's awesome. I love it. Me loves a good cyan. And as far as Deepkin Flesh, well, that kind of depends on what level of Deepkin Flesh you want to go with, right? Because some of the Deepkin Flesh, they kind of have warmer tones. They have a bit more of a normal kind of tone. And some of the Thralls I see have more of a blue tinge to them. I'm probably going to go with more of a blue tinge to them. And so I'm thinking of a color like, I just love this color. It's so fabulous. A Thin. thin version of this. I will thin this down and apply it to the flesh. Ethermatic, is that what it is? Ethermatic? Ethermatic. Choking on my own words here. Ethermatic blue. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to go with for my Deepkin. This on top of the bone. The Wraith Bone Prime. Or white. But probably go Wraith Bone. Maybe gray. I don't know. I haven't quite decided. But, I mean, any of the other flesh tones, stuff like that, they'll work fantastic. Like Gilman Flesh, you thin that down just a little bit. I mean, that looks really good. It has almost the same value as, you can see up there, like Cadian Flesh. So, you kind of get a similar result to that. So, yeah, definitely. Sorry, I'm just going to keep moving through the comments here. G squared. Wow, what'd I miss? Not too much. Time we at here. Holy crap, we're already an hour into the show and I have not shown anything yet. Man, I need to get on this. Shogun Ka, I'm excited for those fast flesh tones. Yeah, I think for flesh and stuff like that, really organic stuff is going to be fantastic. Scales, stuff like that. Fur, you know. Big flat surfaces. I have not tried it on the tank yet. I was going to film that today. But yeah. Old Man Logan, I've been asking to show contrast over metallic since last week. Damn it, get to it, man. Family of Gamers, good stuff, Kris. Just another tool in the toolbox. Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. It's just another tool in the toolbox. These aren't magical. They're not, they're not going to solve world hunger or anything like that, right? So, yeah. Enforcer contrast is effing magic. Michael Bateau. Kris, is there a place I can see the entire lineup of contrast that will be available for pre-order next week? Prices? I'd probably go to any of the forums like DACA. I know some of the threads there. They have all the color names. I know on Mini Wargaming's, I think it was Instagram, we posted pictures of all the paints. Mike did a nice little thing where he has all the lids up so you can see the light playing through the lid. You can see like, all the colors playing through and all the names are present. Prices, I do believe there are prices out there. I'm not sure exactly what they were. I thought they were around $7 US, 6 or 7 US. But, I mean, these are bigger than the normal Citadel pots. But it's a brand new product. You didn't think these were going to be super cheap, right? I mean, with Games Workshop stuff, they're always a premium price tag. So, you know. Are you going to buy the whole range? Sure. If you want. Are you going to buy whatever colors you need? That probably makes more sense. Do you need all these colors? Well, it depends. Do you have a whole bunch of models to get through? This might help. Right? So, yeah. Old Man Logan, breaking news. Contrast paints cure cancer. Great flavors, too. Reziel, they're almost 8 US. 780, I think. Well, you think or you know? I don't know, because I don't have the price listing in front of me. I know it's been posted out there. Michael Bateau, outstanding, thank you. Must go download Instagram. Yeah. Oh. Wade Wilson, ooh, that's a pretty blue. Yeah, I like the blue. Brian Cheney, both of those blues are gorgeous. I know. Oh, Cyclone, what about blue for Dire Avengers? Sure, that blue would work for Dire Avengers. Also, what's the other blue? Achillean Green. Achillean Green? This has more of a blue tinge. Well, it's more of a dark turquoisey tinge. Look at that. The camera doesn't do it justice. It's almost like Kalia Green Shade. If you really like Kalia Green Shade, which I do, I love it. Where's the blue? Pterodon Turquoise. Ooh, Pterodon Turquoise. This one's a really nice one, too. Ooh, look at that. Camera doesn't do it justice. Doesn't do it justice. Where the hell is that blue? Ah, there it is. Leviathan Blue. That's it. This one actually probably would work well for Dire Avengers as well. If you want to go for a bit of a darker blue, you can kind of see there. And in fact, I get a lot of questions regarding Cantor Blue. And so, you know what? Let's do a quick little demo. Let's use Leviathan Blue. Let's apply it to this gray marine. Let's go about half the marine, because that way we can show another color beside it, right? So let's go with my shade wash brush, right? Got my mixing water. Now, if any of this gets really kind of loud for you guys, I apologize, but that's the only way I can rinse my brush and have everything here in front of you. So, let's grab the marine. We got our paint here. Is this good enough? Let's zoom in a bit. Let's zoom in so you guys can see this a little bit better. Let's go with whoa, whoa, and let's change focus. Focus. I'm gonna paint right about here so it's comfortable. And there we go. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Let's go a little bit more. That's as far as it's gonna go. And focus. Nope. Focus. 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 Screw it. That's as far as focus you're gonna get. Sorry, I'm talking with a brush in my mouth. All right. So this model here. Okay, so we're saying it's about $7 in sales tax. Yeah. Okay. So Leviathan Blue is what we're gonna play with here. Okay. This is Gray Sear Primer. This is a regular Primaris Marine. And we're gonna lay this on fairly generously. We're gonna apply this like we would. I need two hands here. So if I fall out of frame, just let me know. I'm gonna try and keep her in frame, or him. And let's start with the backpack. Okay. So I'm gonna grab a fairly generous amount on my brush, as you can kind of see there, right? And let's apply it. Ooh, it almost has like a purplish tinge to it. You can't quite see it on camera, but it has almost a purple value to it. But it's dark. It's very, very dark. Yeah. Yeah, this is a bit closer to Cantor Blue. And let's just kind of clear off some of the brush marks. Which you can. It doesn't dry very, very fast. It dries quickly, but it's not like bang, it's done or anything like that. Let's just grab a little bit more here. Let's fill in some of those little details. Actually, those are all right. Once it starts to dry, it actually kind of starts to really kind of form. Yeah, there we go. Am I still in frame here? Yeah. Yeah, this is actually probably pretty close to Cantor Blue. I've been holding off on responding to a lot of people who've been asking if this is the right color for Cantor Blue. And I would say that this is a pretty close Cantor Blue. It's pretty close. If you really wanted a deep, deep blue, yeah. Again, I'm just applying this like I would if I was a fairly new person. So as you would apply it in kind of a heavy manner, heavy-handed type of manner. Sorry, I'm just getting some of these colors into the grates here. Yeah. Right? Let's grab a little bit more. Let's hit the helmet. The helmet. Let's just slap it right on. This stuff is so fun. Like for just kind of quickly getting something done. I mean, no fuss. I mean, you know, every model that we paint, are we always painting to a golden demon standard? Or do we just want to get them done so we can play with them on the tabletop? Right? Is it always about getting that perfect blend? Or you just want the sons of guns done? Okay, let's try it on... oh, yeah, I fell out of frame there. Let's see here. Let's do it on the shoulder pad. Let's grab a bit more. Let's grab a really nice heavy helping. Just so I can help move this around a bit. Make sure I'm in frame. And bang. Yeah, you can see how dark it can go on when you lay it on just a little too heavily. You can see it's really, really dark. So I really don't want that. But somebody might apply it in this fashion. For chest eagles and stuff like that, do you really want to lay it on super heavy like that? I don't know. I would say not. But, you know. Yeah. You know what? This does work really well for a Cantor Blue. Yeah, would have to say that this is a pretty decent Cantor blue. In fact, I have a little too much here on the shoulder pad, so I'm just going to draw it off. And just kind of feather that out a bit. Otherwise, yeah. Yeah, I definitely would have to say that this is at least Cantor blue. That is my official stance on it. So we're going to give that a few moments to dry. Rinse my brush. Sorry if it's really loud and my arm's in the shot. So close up Cantor blue. Cantor blue. Leviathan blue. Jeez Louise. Calling it Cantor blue now. So anyway, yeah. So we're going to let that dry. I'm going to jump back to the comments here. Looks like ultramarine for sure. Well, the camera is kind of, distorting that view because this one here is the ultramarine's blue. And this one here, yeah, it has that desaturated blue look. I can test it out if you guys want. But, yeah, that's their official, official McCraig blue. McCraig. Ruben Matnov. Night Lords-ish even. Yeah, Night Lords. Yeah, well, because it's Cantor blue, right? So really quickly here, yeah. Oh, jeez. Phone's ringing. I'm digging it. Like where I laid it on the shoulder pad probably was too heavy. I probably could have laid it a little bit thinner. But anyway. I just laid it right on. Just slapped it on. Tried to feather it back just a little bit. But, again, I mean, like once you start playing with this and you kind of learn how you want to build the color and have it finish, you'll know. So, again, I mean, like, excuse me. Sorry. Everybody's got headphones on. That snuck right up on me. Brian Cheney looks good. Yeah. G squared. The whole contrast thing reminds me of a previous of the previous manager at the old Citadel store showing me to prime my orcs white and just use wash to get the right green. Yeah. This is not a new thing. But now it's a very deliberate process now. But yeah, I mean, for certain things, this technique has been around for a while. And like I said, like any experienced painter who has been playing with transparencies will have used any of these techniques in the past. I'm going to switch cameras here. I don't need this for the moment. G squared, wash is not washed. Yeah. Julian Falk, Sons of Guns, my new Catagen regiment. Yes. Catagen, yeah, Catagen. There's a couple greens for Catagen. I mean, Plague Bearer green is pretty good. Oh, yeah, here we go. Military. Oh, here's one. Remember I was talking earlier about... Here. Let me switch back. Remember I was talking about earlier about catching the pigment? There, see how there's that lighter tinge right here? Because I was shaking these up before the show today. But yeah, you can kind of see how the pigment's kind of built up there. Now, I'm going to give it a really quick shake here. This time it's not going to look weird because I got the camera on where I'm shaking it. See up here? Or up in the upper frame. Where is it? Yeah, right there, right? Looks weird. But on camera, you can see, shaking the paint. Not playing with myself, shaking the paint. Yeah, and there, see, look at more of it's disappeared. So it seems like any of the colors that have a lighter value, or I guess what it is it's whatever colors they've added a white to change the value. It seems to be the ones that you get like this pigment, this sediment. Not sediment, but yeah, there. See, it's completely gone now, right? So all you gotta do is make sure you shake them up really good before you use them, right? So that is all. I mean, it's not rocket science, people. It's just playing with colors. Wade Wilson, do these paints mix well? Sure, why not? Crap, I don't have my little palette here. Yes, I do. I got a little palette. Here, let me grab a little palette. I got something here. Make a palette. We're gonna make a palette right here. A little clear bit of plastic. Okay, and let's say we want to make, I don't know what color we want to make. Say we want to change blue Yeah, say we want to go with a, or yeah, let's say we go with a blue. That's brown. Where's the freaking, yeah, let's take the Ethermatic blue, okay? And let's add a little bit of the purple. Ah, there we go. Now we're talking. Okay, that's Levine on blue. Where the F is the purple? There it is, silent purple. So let's take these two colors, okay? Let's say we wanted to make something very, very interesting, right? So this blue, okay, actually is this, anybody who's wondering what this blue looks like on a model surface, okay, is this guy, okay? That's how it looks. And that's what I'm thinking for my Deepkin. Very, very fun. And anybody who's wondering, this model here was painted entirely with the contrast. I did this one at Games Workshop when they were showcasing these paints. And you can see, actually, by the model, yeah, you can see that the model has a very matte finish. It's not shiny. That's because these paints initially, at least, it looked like they didn't dry with you know. Here, you know what? Can I get a shot of the mixing? Here, yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. Oh, I suppose. Do you really need to focus? Let's focus. Okay, we're focused. All right, let's grab a little dollop of the purple. Okay. Let's grab a little more. We'll go 2 dollops of the purple. Okay. And we're going to use a little bit. We'll grab 2 dollops of the blue. Right, the Ethermatic blue. Okay. Let me just pull most of the moisture out of my brush here. I find that I do really want to. Let's add a lot. I find I do really want to pull a lot of the moisture out of my brush when grabbing colors, just because water is not this paint's friend, it seems like, a lot of times. And so here, I'm just going to slowly incorporate the color into the blue, because again, this purple is very rich. Yeah. And then, see how it changed that value pretty far? Let's go a little further. See, I don't want to change the color too far. That's very, very interesting. Let's hit this shoulder pad right here on this Marine, right? Let's do his shoulder pad. Oh, we'll do his shoulder pad and his arm. Ooh, look at that. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I am interested because it is interesting. I'm just jibber jabbering while I do this. That's why I sound like I'm an idiot. Okay. So, are you going to be mixing these colors a lot to create your own values? Sure, why not? Are you going to be doing it a lot? If you're doing custom color scheme, sure. You know, why not? Do you have to? No, not really. That's kind of interesting. Sorry, I'm just going to get some more inside the chest area there. And get some on that elbow joint. Get some nice heavy pigment happening there. Yeah. So, now is there a color already like this? I have no idea. But that is a mixture of that ether blue and Salish purple. Where the hell is my framing here? Right? So that's those 2 colors I used. And that's so far what it looks like. I'll zoom in on this guy here in a moment. I'll let that dry. And let's come back to comments. Comments? Where am I? Mr. Bridges, that bottle was produced in 2017. The bottle? What bottle? What bottle? I don't know what bottle he means. You mean this bottle? Hey, you're right. Interesting. So that's very interesting. So on the bottom of the bottles, yeah. Good eye. I didn't even catch that. 2017. So they've had these bottles for a while. So they probably were wondering, what could we do with these bottles? We have, you know, because I mean, the smaller bottles. What does it say? Yeah, look at that. Well, you probably can't see it too well on the camera here, but on the small paint pots, like this style of paint pot, they say 2013. So, okay, what about the big ones? The big bottles. What do they say? 2014. Very interesting. So, Games Workshop is pretty far out from when they are developing to when they release. Right? So this contrast system has probably been in the works for quite a while. Avid Mater at Kris, have you tried them over a zenithal based of a complementary color, i.e. green primer, zenithal to white for the reds? Wondering if you can get more natural shadows that way. Well, the green, I guess it really depends on what value of green to what value of red you're applying on top. Because, yeah, green and red will neutralize each other as they play with each other, right? As we see them visually, the color does neutralize because they're complementary. Complementary, of course, does not mean colors look nice together. Complementary means they complete each other. That's what complementary means. In this instance, when we're talking about color theory, right? So, for example, blue and orange are complementary colors. When they're overlapped or mixed, they neutralize each other. And technically, they're supposed to make a gray, but oftentimes in pigment, they make a brown. So if you ever want to make a good brown, a very interesting brown, just take two complementary colors, mix them together, and you'll make a brown. But in light, the two neutralize each other. And so with transparencies, they may neutralize. But again, it depends on what value of green. So if you went with, say, more of like the camo kind of green, which has a bit of a brown value, which is kind of closer to red, it might not neutralize as far with the red, right? The two might not neutralize each other much. But if you went with a pure chroma green and a pure chroma red, the two would neutralize each other and probably make either a very dark color or a very kind of a brownish color. Now, you're talking about laying the green, laying the white, and then throwing the red on. That might actually be quite interesting. Now, you still would only want to go with, in theory, you'd still want to go with a brighter green. I wouldn't go with a dark green because then it's just going to be dark anyway. But yeah, it should work. I would probably go with like, probably wouldn't go any darker than something like, not Nurgling green, but even Nurgle green probably would neutralize a bit. I'd probably go with something along the lines of, what is it, like Strachan green? Something along those lines. Put that white on top, and then hit it with the red. The red plays with the white nicely, and then it hits in the green areas. That'd be very interesting to try. And in fact, maybe today I might give that a try because that's actually fairly interesting. Kind of a thought experiment on color theory and how these colors should interact, right? So, yeah. Grunt Z, Kris, what colors were those? That was the Stylish Purple and the Ethermatic Blue. And that's what colors were mixed here. Oh, and let's have a look. Because this is mostly dry now. Let's change the focus again. There we go. So you guys kind of see how that looks. That's just that shoulder. And this is how the Levidon Blue dried. So really quick, you can kind of see, like, there's a little bit of poolage. If I really wanted a darker blue in that center, I could hit it with another layer. But, like, that looks like Cantor Blue to me, no? It looks like Cantor Blue with a little bit of edging, a little bit of shadows, right? That's that color mixture from on the palette there, where I took these two colors. Just, playing with them. Just take it out and play with it, And why not? So, Levidon Blue. So, I'm going to confirm it right now. Levidon Blue is Cantor Blue. Or it gives you a good approximation of Cantor Blue. I don't have any model Cantor Blue, do I? No. Damn Eldar and their red color scheme. So, yeah. So, that's it. So, Levidon Blue. And that was that color mixture. Do they mix? Yeah. Do they still work when you mix them? Of course. Does it look really kick-ass? Yeah, sure. Does it finish nicely? See, I kind of slapped that on. And look at the finish. Yeah, okay, on the shoulder pad, yeah, it's a little blotchy because, I was farting around with it. And if I wanted it deeper, I could apply another one. Or I could make that modeling, I can make that work to my effect if I wanted. The helmet, right? You know? I mean, that's tabletop. Right? That's tabletop. I'll let you guys decide. But that's it. So, yeah. So that's Cantor Blue. I was curious. A lot of people have been asking me about it. That's Cantor Blue. I'll call it right now. It's Cantor Blue. I mean, like, on camera, I'm sure it kind of looks like Cantor Blue. To my eyes, it's Cantor Blue. That's it. So, Leviathan Blue. That's that blue. Leviathan Blue. That's that blue. Leviathan Blue. Cantor Blue. Leviathan Blue. Leviathan Cantor Blue. Raziel, okay, I'm definitely interested to try a little myself. Thanks, Kris, for putting up with my comments, and everyone have a great day. Yeah, no problem, Raziel. I mean, I'm not here to try and change your mind. If you have your opinion, you're welcome to your opinion. And, you know, I mean, I respect your opinion. But, you know, I mean, you can't poo-poo on something. Well, you can, but you shouldn't poo-poo on something until you've tried it, you know? Until you say, oh, I've had experience with that, and it was crap. Or, you know, because I know there's some people out there that think, you know, oh, no, this is crap. They haven't even played with it yet. They haven't even tried it. Try it. Then poo on it. But if you haven't tried it, then shut your mouth and wait till it comes out. You only got to wait till the 15th. Then everybody gets their hands on this. And then a new cycle of hype begins. So it's like the hype train just keeps on going. The hype train, man. The hype train. Dirkasaurus. Contrast paints work from light to dark. Yes. Waste Wonder. What was the date on those contrast pots? 2017. Yeah. 2017 is the date on them. Now, that's the pot. It doesn't mean that they've been sitting on contrast for that long, because at least the way it was explained to me when we went to Games Workshop, a whole bunch of painters and I, and we went for that painting weekend, and we got to experience these colors for the first time. From what I understood, they just made the colors like that day kind of thing. They were, oh, we got to make a whole bunch of this. Oh, let's get it ready. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So it's but yeah. Anyway. Jay Voy in your pocket? Sure. I don't know what that means. Anyway, I've got an idea for doing vampire skin where you prime white and paint the veins under the skin with the contrast over top. Think it might look cool. Definitely. Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Yeah, I wouldn't go too dark with the veins, but definitely, yeah, it definitely would work. That would be really, really cool. Brian Cheney, Kris, could you show off a nice purple of your choice? Oh, yeah, let's go with the purple. Well, we kind of saw stylish purple here. Let me go back to the camera. Okay, stylish purple. Let me see if I can get some light playing behind it. Crap. I wish I could kind of shine light in behind. Well, I guess you can kind of see it on the table here. You can see the level of purple. That purple is a bit like Xeris purple, right? So anybody looking for Xeris purple, that pretty much is it. And it goes to a really light, almost like Gene Stealer purple on the outside. So if you thin this down, I bet you it kind of gives you that, you know, Gene Stealer purple. The words escape me. You know what color I haven't tried? I've tried this Vulpus pink. That's what I did the interior mouth in. And I'm pretty sure that's what I used when I was doing the wings here on this guy. But I've not tried Mage's purple. Let's try a little bit of Mage's purple. Because it's a cool color, I'm going to continue doing it on this Gray Seer Prime model. And I'm just going to do one of the legs. And let's see what kind of purple we get. This marine's going to be all sorts of different colors. He's going to be fabulous. That's, where's my focus at? Yeah, focus is right there. Okay, yeah, so. Okay, we're going to try Mage's purple. Now, this one here, yeah, is kind of a darker magenta color. In fact, I think this is the magenta, isn't it? I'm gonna grab a fairly generous amount on my brush. You can see there. And let's just start smacking it down. Ooh, yeah, this is like Screamer Pink. So anybody who's into Slaanesh and any of the new Slaanesh stuff, yeah, this is gonna be your jam. Your jam? Yeah, screw it. It's gonna be your jam. Yeah, this is kind of pretty. Yeah. Now I'm trying to resist laying it on fairly heavily, like too heavily, I should say. I'm getting really nice edgings with it, and it's falling into the shadows nicely. But on top of the gray sear, it's kind of losing something for me. It's losing a bit of that color vibrancy. But we can always lay another layer down. So, okay, so there's a little bit of tide marks are pooling here. So we're just going to quickly pull it out. Okay, it doesn't want to do that, so I'm going to clear my brush. Dry it off really quickly here, and then let's just pull that off. Yeah, there we go. Let's pull it off that round part there as well. So there you go. Yeah, I'm okay with the rest of that. So, and excuse me while I rinse my brushes, and if it gets kind of loud for you guys, I do apologize, but gotta clean my brushes. So there we go. That's that Magos purple. Right? That's Magos purple on that leg, on top of gray sear. It loses a little bit of vibrancy. Now, the camera doesn't really show it all that well, but it is pretty rich purple. I'm just trying to see if at a distance you can kind of see the color. But again, I mean, it's not bad. If I wanted to go more saturated, I can always let another layer down, right? Yeah. But it's not bad. I'll bet you on top of the race sear, it probably looks a little bit more vibrant. So I'm going to quickly go to the comments here. Yeah, cool. It looks nice, Brian. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Stuckhammer, Kris. You guys keep spelling my name wrong. I don't know why you guys do that. Why do you guys do that? I need the shirt that says it's spelt with a K. It's spelt with a K. My God, man. My God. Family of gamers, how do they compare to Minotaur Ghost Tints? I have not done a side-by-side comparison as far as saturation and vibrancy. I would suspect they're probably both the same. Ease of application, I would have to give the nod towards contrast paints, because you can apply these very easily by brush, whereas the Ghost Tints, they give you a broad coverage, whereas these will do just this, like creeping into the recesses. Now, with the Ghost Tints, have I shown it in a video of adding Liquitex Flow Aid to Ghost Tints? I don't know if I've shown that. Do I have any Ghost Tints in here? I think I do. What are these here? That's the metallic. What's this one here? What color am I dealing with here? Okay, so this is bronze copper ore. Now these were from the Metalsmith, but these are essentially just the Minotaur Ghost Tints, but I have not done any videos with these. But these essentially are, you can kind of see some of the color playing through. It's very, very dark. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to grab my Flow Aid. Let's try Ghost Tints. So this is just for curiosity's sake. So for everybody out there. Now, are these going to flow the same way? Are they going to finish the same way? I don't know. The one thing I have about Ghost Tints is that you have to seal on top of them before applying colors, if you're going to apply colors on top of them, because for whatever reason, when you lay another color on top, they kind of reactivate, at least with the batch of Ghost Tints that I've had. Oh, this thing's still sealed. See? Haven't played with it much. Oh, come on. Oh, I hate these little things. Okay. I'm just going to use this here. Oh, I'm going to have to Okay, so this is copper ore. This actually looks like, holy shit, this looks like a Reichland flush shade. Yeah, look at that color. That almost looks like Reichland. This is a brownie. So, if you're looking to do, I can't remember what's going to go with that. Like a copper, yeah. So this essentially is a metal series that Minotaur had done. These are all done by Badger. I have not done any videos on these. I got these a while ago, and yeah, I've been meaning to make some videos with them. So I'm going to do 2 drops on my palette. These are meant to, like the colors, these Minotaur colors, these are meant to sit on top of, where the hell can I go here? There we go. These are meant to sit on top of metallics. So these have a very clear transparency. This is my Liquitex Flow Aid. I always keep it in a dropper bottle. And I'm just going to add 2 drops. Probably only 1 was necessary. But yeah. So this is with Liquitex Flow Aid. This is Minotaur Ghost Tint. This is the same stuff as Ghost Tints. So I'm going to mix it here. And let's see if I get a similar result. Like as far as Ghost Tints are concerned, contrast is concerned. So I am going to go here and apply it. Now again, it's not the same colors as what I've been applying before. This is just a theory of application. Sorry, we're not concerned with what the color is. We're concerned with how this applies to a model surface, and it's pretty darn close. It is pretty darn close. Now, I speculated that this would do pretty much what I thought it would do. I've talked about this. I did a video not that long ago on this channel turning any color into a shade wash. And so this is just confirmation of that video. So really, anybody who has Liquitex Flow Aid in their arsenal and using transparency colors, you're pretty much doing the same thing. So, the benefit of contrasts. That's looking pretty darn close, doesn't it? And that was that leg is Ghost Tints with Flow Aid, and that's it. Liquitex Flow Aid, Ghost Tints. Now, as I stated, with Ghost Tints, this stuff reactivates when color is applied on top of it. I've had it reactivate many times on me and mix with my next layer. So I've always been in the habit of sealing. So if you're not used to sealing all the time and going through all these extra steps, you can't really go wrong with the contrast, because the contrast so far, color sits on top of those just fine. They don't reactivate. It's water-based acrylics, whereas Ghost Tints, I'm not sure what the recipe is for that. That's proprietary Badger. But I did the back bum plate and that leg, and that's Ghost Tints. Has a very similar finish, doesn't it? I'll let you decide. So, I'm not terribly surprised by the result. It's kind of what I figured. Like I said, I've been telling people for many years, Liquitex Flow Aid. Many years. Where is it? I'm going to have my bottle. My bottle's around. I always keep it in this dropper bottle, because that way I can always accurately measure how much I'm doing. Because you only need a drop in a mixture. You only need like a drop. Maybe 2 if you're feeling a little ballsy about it. But otherwise, yeah. That's it. Mr. Bridges, looks great. A lot of definition with that purple. Yeah, that purple looks really good. So, yeah. Damn, that's interesting though. I mean, I'm pretty sure with the Ghost Tints, I've shown doing this kind of thing. Shown doing? That doesn't make any sense. I know I've done it a lot with opaque colors, turning any opaque color into a shade wash. It gets you very similar results. I don't know if I've ever shown it with transparencies. But anybody who's been doing, like, I'm sure at some point I've done the same. Yeah, because I was playing with the Turbo Dork and I was breaking down transparent colors on top of. Yeah, it was probably some of the videos I've done where I'm using Turbo Dork paints, and I've shown breaking down the color. Anyway, so yeah, so there we go. Derek Luderis, how does it work for faces? I think it works pretty darn good. I don't know if I have any models with a face. I do not have any models ready with a face. Well, maybe if I'm feeling. What time are we at here? 1:33. Okay, we've got time. You know what? Screw it. Let's do it. I'm gonna grab this guy. He's been sitting on my shelf for a while. He's a War Machine model. Oh, turn the camera off again. He's a War Machine model, but he's got a face on him. It's a pewter model. I think it's already kind of primed. Did I prime it? Or maybe that's just overspray. I'm gonna have to dust him though. Where's my dusting brush? Oi! Gotta reach for my brush. No, not that brush. Jeez Louise. Don't need the brush. Don't need to dust him that bad. Okay, I'm just gonna give him a quick dusting, and then I'm gonna hit him with you know, the color. You know, the color. Wraithbone, that's it. Jeez Louise. Alright, so put that away. Let's turn on the fan just a little bit and turn on my airbrush fan. Because I'm gonna prime this live. We're priming this live, kids. It's the whole point of an airbrush. If it gets kind of loud, I apologize. When working with spray primes, you should always make sure you're very vigorously shaking it. And whenever I shake, I always shake right side up, like that, till I can hear that little agitator moving around. Then, of course, I always turn it upside down. Am I in frame here? Yeah. I always turn it upside down, shake that way. I always just alternate. I always make sure that this stuff is always very, very thoroughly shaken. It seems a little excessive at times, sure, but my priming is always very consistent. So, if you want consistent results, be consistent. If you're not sure what consistent means, look it up. So, yeah, we're going to quickly prime this guy. I'm probably not going to talk much while I'm priming him because somebody was spraying. They got paint all over this. Somebody was using this and got paint. How do you get paint? How do you get the spray paint on? Kind of get tired of asking those kind of questions. Anyway, I'm going to grab one of my gloves. I'm going to put my painting rag aside here for a second. And we're going to do this live. We're going to do some live priming. Live priming. It's prime time live. Prime time live. So, you know what? I'm going to switch cameras here just because, you know, it's kind of boring on that other frame. So yeah, so I have a little airbrush booth. I also have this little fan going. I really actually don't need it going. In fact, I probably might end up disrupting the airflow by having it running like that. But, and I can confirm, I posted this on Twitter. I can confirm this stuff, it tastes like Corax White. Alright. Good. So there we go. So he's primed. We're going to give him a moment to dry. And because I have my booth running, I'm not going to get high on fumes because that's all flowing. Am I covered in dust? This stuff is dusty, just like Corax White. The gray, I didn't seem to find it that dusty. The gray I didn't find as dusty, and it doesn't taste the same. Whereas Wraithbone tastes like Corax White. Yeah, see, I don't taste it right now because, again, fan and brush are running. Or booth thing. High on fumes. This is the sound that makes everybody nervous at mini wargaming. Everybody gets nervous. It's like, oh no, snapping gloves. Oh, better run. Don't bend over. That's actually a rule around here too. Don't bend over. Just don't do it. Especially when Quirk was around. Yeah, you just don't bend over. You don't know what's going to end up in your pants. Now everyone's going to be like, what the hell kind of craziness is going on in mini wargaming? Yeah, a lot of days. It's pretty damn silly. Anyway. Snookhammer. Kris, can you explain different brushes? Like shade, wash, dry, detail? I just use whatever brush on the size if I'm what I'm painting. Kind of confused because I'm still just a baby, still at painting. Okay, well, yeah, don't worry about it. Games Workshop, as I've stated before, they make things very easy for entry-level people to enter this hobby, right? So, for example, like the paints, okay? The paints that are often red and they say base, they're intending you to use this as the base coat layer. So the first layer that goes onto the model, right? So with the brushes, when they have these, and it says shade on it, right? They're telling you that this good size of brush is good for shade washing because it's got longer bristles than the normal brush. Like, for example, like the small. Yeah, you shouldn't lick your brushes or bristles anyway. But yeah, I can taste the soap. This is a small. Or here, we'll go on this camera here. This is the small base coating brush. But the small base coating brush looks like I don't know, like almost like the detail brush, almost, except just smaller. But I mean, you get some other brushes like the medium base brush, a little bit thicker, right? Medium size. This is the small base coating brush. Medium base coating brush, you know what I mean? So they're just giving you varying sizes, and it's up to you as to determine what size of brush you need for whatever size project you're working on. If you're working on very large models, like say tanks, you should be using larger brushes, right? Like an extra large base coating brush, because this is basically a 1-inch brush, right? Is it magical? Is it more special than any other kind of brushes out there? No, not really. But they make the system easier for you to identify what you need to do. And it gets you into the habit of using larger brushes for larger surfaces, smaller brushes for smaller surfaces. You know what I mean? Vice versa. If you're very comfortable with your brushes, you can go to any art supply place, go to the watercolor section, and look at the various sizes of brushes, right? And you definitely want to go to the watercolor section, because the kind of painting we do is more akin to watercolor type of painting. It's not like oil painting, where we want stiffer, firmer bristles to push that thick, heavy paint around. It's not like acrylic paint, which is kind of like in between. It's more like watercolor, where we're breaking the color down and we're doing glazing, and we're working in thin layers, and you know what I mean. So our painting is more akin to what was I talking about? Watercolor. All right, so there was really quickly a prime of Wraithbone. Maybe the fumes are getting to me. Joy in your pocket? Is that what it is? Joy in your pocket? Yeah, Quirk did look like a deviant. Nathaniel, proctal examination, imminent, snapping gloves. Yeah, that's why everybody gets a little, oh no. Oh no, it's going to happen. Ogrex. Well, both primers still have a fair amount of white pigment. Yeah, exactly. But that's how they want you to use these primers, because with these contrast paints, you got to go with bright, right? As I've demonstrated last episode, and this we've talked about in this episode, dark, like even a mid-tone color, probably going to give you very dark results. Okay, if you understand what I mean by dark color, mid-tone, and bright colors, you don't really want to go past mid-tone mid-tonal range on a color as a base color for the clear color to sit on top of. If that makes sense. Again, these are clear colors. If you want them bright, go with the highest points. And anything in between. I really wouldn't go past the halfway point on how dark a color gets. Okay, if we're talking about tonal range within colors, for example, Uthran Gray is a bright gray. Dawnstone, I would consider a mid-tone gray. Eshin Gray is a darker gray. I wouldn't go Eshin Gray as a to get me really bright, vibrant colors, or even give me deep shadows. Mid-tone gray seems to work just fine for giving you a dark shadow, and of course bright, because of the saturation of these colors, they push the color way down a lot. So yeah. So anyway, what were we talking about? Flesh, right? This is nice and dry. Yeah, it feels dry. See, it's dry. Boop. Yeah, I might be hot, kids. Okay, really quickly here. Let's do a quick vote. Okay, let's do a quick vote because we've only got enough. We've only got enough time and such, and who knows if Kris is going to lose it. But which flesh? Guilliman flesh, Fireslayer flesh, or Dark Oath flesh? Which one should I paint this guy's head in? Okay, vote now. Vote now, kids. Vote now. Yeah, getting high off the fumes in here. Kris is freaking out. Oops, I'm blocking the shot there. So yeah, let's keep. Yeah. So who asked that about the question? The brush question. Can't remember who was asking that, but so hopefully that helps with that in regards to the brushes. I do have many videos in Mini Wargaming's vault on brush and stuff like that. So Mr. Bridges says Guilliman. Yeah, okay, Guilliman. Who initially was asking about flesh? I don't even remember who the hell was asking about flesh to begin with. That was so long ago. The time we had here. Oh, we got 15 minutes left of the show. James Sapir. Holy crap. We got all sorts of comments flying in. I've not used a GW brush in forever. Art store brushes are much cheaper. Sure. But, as long as you're using watercolor brushes, I mean, you're fine, And again, as I've mentioned many times before, it is not the material that makes the artist. It is, it's you. You make great paintings and art and such. So, Nathaniel, Kris is high like a kite. Yeah, apparently my airbrush booth didn't get all the chemicals out. And it's just kind of wafting around in here, getting brain damage as we speak. David McDonald, I don't know about the brushes we use are more like watercolor. I didn't know about the brushes we use are more like watercolor brushes. Yeah, they're more like watercolor brushes. The brushes we use are more akin to watercolor brushes. So if you're going into art supply places and you don't want to buy any of the Wargaming brand brushes, you're not happy with Army Painter, you're not happy with Vallejo. I don't know why you would be, but whatever. Or even Army Painter. But anyway, let's pretend that you're not happy with Citadel, you're not happy with Army Painter, you're not happy with Privateer Press, you're not happy with blah, blah, blah. You're not happy with anybody. They all suck. And you definitely don't want to spend the money on a Winsor Newton. Screw them, right? Go to an art supply place, go to the watercolor section, and find the brushes that you need. And they do sell watercolor brushes they're miniature. I mean, that's where these brushes come from. These are watercolor brushes, and they do sell miniature size. They're not intended for miniatures. They're just intended for watercolor artists who work on small surfaces. That's why they're there. So, yeah. Alrighty. Oh, man. Geofits. Kris is getting silly up in here. Okay, so we got a vote for Guilliman, Fireslayer, Gilly, 2, 3, Dark Oath, all the flesh, Fireslayer, 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 Dark Oath, Fireslayer, Dark Oath, Fireslayer, Rowboat, Dark Oath, Guilliman, Dark Oath, Gilly, Feralus, reposting. By the way, did you try the first Gray Seer, then Dry Brush Wraithbone, then put the contrast on top? Talked about it in recent comments with you. No, I have not tried it. But I've had these paint like just over a week. And yeah, there's a bazillion different permutations of what we can experiment with, right? And so yeah, And of course, I'm also filming this stuff and trying to edit it, and you know what I mean. So, got a family, life, you know what I mean. So only so much time in the day to, you know. Wow, I am. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. Cyclone 8974, well ventilated area, kids. Yeah, definitely. Even if you got an airbrush booth, you definitely should have a good strong suction. Because yeah, I mean, I'm okay. I'm joking. A little bit, maybe. Okay, so what model is that, by the way? I can't remember. This guy is. It's from War Machine, Privateer Press. I'm pretty sure this dude is a Merc. Maybe Signar. Crap, I can't remember. Wow, so long ago. He's been sitting on my thing here. My holder here is just a tub of Masters brush soap. That's all it is. He's been attached to this for ages, like years. And it's still, obviously, strong, right? I mean, it's just sticky tack under there. You can kind of see sticky tack underneath. Anyway, so I think what we're going to go with, 2 last votes for Gilly. I'm thinking it's either Dark Oath or Gilliman. Let's go with Gilliman. And then we'll put a second layer of Dark Oath. Right? So, Fire Slayer. Sorry, Fire Slayer. You're not getting seen today. We're going to go with Gilliman. We're going to apply a little layer of Gilliman. And then we'll put Dark Oath. Because Dark Oath is a bit darker. So I'm going to grab a little bit of the color. Actually, I'm going to put this in front of me, because if it's on the other side of me, it'll probably get knocked over. Grab a little amount, right? Not too heavy, you can see there. And you can see whenever I draw the paint into the bristles, I only go over about halfway up my bristles. Because you don't really want to accumulate too much paint up into the end of the furrow where the bristles meet the furrow, because that's how you get hairs splaying everywhere. Anyway, Gilly man. Ooh, this is fun. Let's play it on. Let's lay it on. Let's lay it on pretty heavy. Ooh, party. Oh yeah. And let's get a little bit of tinting happening around the head here. Let's lay it on kind of heavy. Go around his bulbous bald head. I do apologize for any listeners that are bald. I'm just kidding, I don't care. I don't care about your baldness. Such a jerk, eh? Guy's like, screw this guy. I'm not listening to him anymore. Anyway, okay, so that was being fairly deliberate. That was on top of Wraithbone. And so, yeah, okay, I'm going to close that up. Okay, now this was one quick layer of Gillyman flesh. Still got to dry. But that's not bad. Now, the camera is not showing up. There's a lot more color saturation on there than what's showing up. Like, this looks like Cadian flesh with a wash of Reichland flesh. That's what this looks like. So, let's see here. Get a little closer. Can we zoom in more? We can, or focus more. Let's focus in more so you guys can get a really good look at this. Focus. Okay. There we go. Yeah. All right. Okay. We getting it now? Is it all making sense? He's got like a little scar under his eye. See, that's what I like about this, is that it catches those little details. Like, I didn't even see that, right? John Chavez. Hey, Kris. In a place where spraying isn't always an option, looking for brush-on prime method recommendations. Okay, well, Citadel has a brush-on prime. Stynal Res, their primers are designed for airbrush, but you can use them by brushing them on. I've brushed model primer, like the primer on. Who else does a brush-on prime? Oh, Vallejo surface primer. That can be applied by brush. So basically, any of the airbrush primers, you can apply those by brush. There's no reason you can't apply it. Just put a little bit on your palette. Don't get too much water into it. It'll just affect the consistency a little. A little. you know. And the great thing about brushing on primer is you can really control how much primer you are, how saturated it's going to be, you know, and whether or not it's going to get into all the nooks and crannies. So if you're a control freak like me, it works really well, brushing on your primer. So that's Gilliman Flesh, or yeah, that's Gilliman Flesh. I was gonna say that's not Gilliman Flesh, that's Gilliman. Yeah, that's Gilliman Flesh. So there you go. That's Gilliman Flesh. What time are we at here? Oh, we got 7 minutes left of the show. Holy crap, we didn't do an email, and I've got emails to do. Son of a beehive. Okay. So Dark Oath. Yeah. I might end up missing some emails this week. Let's do some Dark Oath, just because, you know, because we can. Oh, I'm going to do this over here, because, yeah, I'm bumping this. Oh, I got to change focus again. Focus. Focus. There we go. Focus. Focus. Okay, so now bear in mind, the finish of this is going to be very dark, because we're putting this on top of Gilliman Flesh. So this is going to get quite dark. But maybe we can just apply it just deliberately. Ooh, look how dark that is. Oh yeah. Baby. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, that's a nice, deep, dark flesh tone. Yeah, anybody out there who's it's not like if you were doing salamanders. It's not like that. It's not like you're going that dark, but I mean, you guys can see it's pretty dark. And to my eye, it's just like very tan. Like it's a very tan flesh. It's, if anything, I would say it's if you were doing about my complexion, because I'm not white. I'm fairly brown, and I mean that's about, yeah. I mean it's about, yeah. Like kind of see. Let's compare his head to my arm. Yeah, I'm still a little darker. But anyway, yeah. But I mean, giving you some more tones. Look at that. Like it's like, look how nice and dark it is around his eyes. Here, let's zoom in again. Let's zoom in, or not zoom in. Let's focus in a little bit more again. More again. More again. Yeah. Right about there. Yeah. You can kind of see, right? Give us more tones. And like I said, it's a fairly dark, and even the modeling that you see, where you get like the tonal variations on the flatter areas, that works for flesh, because flesh is not one even color. Flesh has many varying tones, as you know, like your veins and everything like that. And so, you know, you're okay with something like that. Yeah, I like that. That actually looks pretty darn good. I like that nice deep tone like that. James Shapiro can't decide if Kris is doing Macho Man or Duke Nukem. Oh, it's more of a Duke Nukem. Shake it, baby, shake it. That was always my favorite part of the game, as you'd imagine. And of course, Macho Man is, oh yeah, we're gonna use some contrast, yeah. I hurt my freaking throat. Oh shit. So, yeah. Ooh, gonna play with some models, little itty bitty models for you little girly men, yeah. No, I'm not high. Ooh, look at the paint. James Shapiro, that result is nicer than I expected. Yeah, I liked it. It's pretty darn good. Yeah. I'm hurt. I'm hurting. Really. LOL, Duke Nukem. Yeah. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of gum. Nathaniel, contrast paints coming out mid-June in Germany. GW shops offer workshops for them most of the same day. Going to check them out ASAP. Yeah, definitely, dude. Check them out, man. Check them out. I mean, cause I can show you all the live long day, and you can take the advice of everybody out there and say it sucks, it's awesome, it sucks, it's awesome, right? But until you try it for yourself, are you gonna have a real, honest opinion of them, right? And don't just take my word for it, and don't take the word of anybody else's word for it. Even the guys who are manufacturing the stuff, don't take their word for it. Try them out and make your own opinion, right? That's the biggest thing. Is just formulate your own opinion of this product. You're going to either love it, hate it, find a use for it, think it's useless, right? I'm on the side that you'll probably find a use for it. Are you going to be amazed by it? I don't know. I'm not you. You're you. Geofits. Stab it into some contrast. No, that was a bit of a combination of the two. Wait, hold on. I gotta channel Macho Man again. Gotta channel. Oh, come on. Channeling Macho Man. Ooh, yeah. I can't do it too much because. Ooh, snap into some contrast. Lord Orphanus. Orphanus? Orphanus. Oh, crap. I missed somebody. Bo Seat. Snapchatted $1. Well, thank you, Bo. I hope. I wonder if you asked a question. I hope I didn't miss your question. And I didn't miss any things on Twitch, no? Oh, Matt Hoser subscribing. Of course, I'm pretty sure I said thank you to Matt Hoser for subscribing on Twitch. This damn thing just doesn't show all the things. Like, I use this one, it's Restream, and they show me the comments, but they don't show when people do special things. And I'm gonna have to write them. I'm gonna write them an angry letter and say, "Ooh, give me all the features." I gotta stop doing that because my throat is really hurting now. Feralus, Girly Man flesh confirmed yet. Girly Man. Ooh. Nathaniel, time to kick ass and chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of gum. Bear in mind, kids, that if you want to be able to do these kind of scratchly voices and, drink a lot of alcohol, smoke a lot of cigarettes, do a lot of unhealthy things, scream a lot, that helps too, scream a lot, and you'll develop a raspy, cancerous-filled voice like mine. If cancer holds no sway over what you do in life, by all means. That's terrible advice. Terrible advice. Oh, man. James Superior. Yeah, I finished with Dark Oath Flesh. Yeah. Hugen, hi from Germany. Hi. Feralus, hi from Germany to Germany. At Hugen. Oh. Carl Astrom, you sound like James Hetfield. Sound like James Hetfield? Oh, I was going to try to do a James Hetfield. Hold on. Can I do it? Yeah! No. Yeah! No. Can't do Hetfield. Sorry. If I could do a Hetfield, or a better Hetfield, I probably would have kept with my efforts in being in bands and stuff. I used to be in a band way back in the day. In high school. Everybody does, right? It was a ploy to get girls. It was a ploy. It was all a ploy to get girls. Get girls to notice me. Oh, man. Anyway. Paul Bentley. Hi there. Hi. And amazingly enough, I can still, even though I can do a Macho Man, I can still pull off a fairly convincing Mickey Mouse. Hi. We're gonna play some contrast. We're gonna play some models. I should just turn the camera off and just do tutorials in that fashion. Whenever I do like adjust the tip, I should just do it in a voice. Here we're going to play with some contrast. Rayleigh. Oh my god, your voices. Yeah, well, you know, when you're a father, you have to develop funny voices to entertain your kids, because otherwise you just lose their interest. You got to be, as a parent, I would recommend this to anybody who's going to be a parent, or is, you know, their children are still small yet. You know, you've got to be more entertaining than what they're watching for them to pay attention to you. You've got to be more entertaining. You've got to be more interesting. You have to be more than what they're absorbing, because that will seem tame by comparison. So if they see something scary on TV, you got to be more scary. They've got to be scared to death of you. That's terrible advice. Don't do that. Oh, Swedish Chef. Yes, Emperor, Swedish Chef, right. Now I'm not going to do a tutorial on it. I know a lot of people have bugged about the Swedish Chef tutorial. There you go. That's the Swedish Chef. That's the Swedish Chef for the day. All right, I'm gonna get the hell out of here, because yeah, we're after 2. So thank you for people tuning in today. If you guys have questions, of course you can always I was reading Ruben Batnoff's comment, episode 253, the one with the sound advice. Yeah, there was no good advice in this show today. there was complete crap. It was garbage. Don't listen to anything I'm saying. It's the fumes, man. It's the fumes. The fumes are making me crazy. So, if you're brand new to this hobby, need some help, you want some help with your painting, maybe there's something weird going on with you know, what you're working on, you can send your questions to Kris@miniwargaming.com. It's in the description below, as well as a link to wavethebrush.com, which is the central hub of all this silliness. Really, after this show, can it get any sillier? I don't know. So wavethebrush.com has links to all the social media. Whenever I'm posting any updates, I usually post on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter. The links are in the description below. Join us on Discord. Usually we head over to Discord after the show. It's kind of an after show kind of just discussion. We usually talk whatever. Of course, if you are fairly young, and we do talk openly, so colorful words are used at times. So warning, if that kind of thing offends you, what have you, or if you're just too young, you shouldn't be listening to that kind of language. Head on over. No, don't head over. Jeez, wavethebrush.com also links for t-shirts. You want to help support the cause, look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world, they're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt. And of course, for everybody who's purchased a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt now, add it to the Monkey Shrine, and I'll most likely add it to the intro as well. What else? Patron support. Big thank you to all my patrons. Without their support, a lot of the upgrades and maintenance wouldn't be possible without their support. And so a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters. And if you're considering supporting by Patreon, I only charge per episode of Way of the Brush. So I only do this show every Saturday normally. And so so that's once a week. So how many weeks in a month? You kind of see what you get yourself into. I do produce other videos, but I don't charge for those. So, you know, again, like I said, I only ever charge per episode Way of the Brush. And if you're not able to support monetarily, thumbing up the video, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing the video, following, all that stuff, you know, helps and, you know, expands the channel, makes this better. And of course, I am going to make a big thank you for this, but I'll say at the end of this episode, I did recently hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, so I want to thank everybody for subscribing. On Twitch, I don't do a whole lot of Twitch. I've been meaning to do more on Twitch, but I will get to it. You know, it's just time, and you know. So I want to thank everybody who, you know, follows on Twitch and subscribes on YouTube. Hit 10,000. It's a bit of a milestone. Of course, it's the popularity of these of these paints that have made that recent jump possible. But you know, big thank you to everybody that's been doing that. So. And hopefully you guys found this informative, found it useful. Oh, crap. Guy Mirror Alfer. Thank you, Carl. Normally we do an email segment. Unfortunately, I'll save these emails for next week. As we just didn't get to them today. But But a big thank you to Guy Mir Alpha, aka Carl, aka Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out if you love yourself some beer and you love yourself some Blood Bowl. Guy Mir Alpha, aka Carl. And we always say thank you to him for creating the email jingles, taking the time out of his busy day to use his creativity to make the jingles that put a smile on our faces before every email segment of the show. So a big thank you to Carl. And again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. I think I'm starting to sober up now. Sober up. No. So, I want to thank you guys tuning in. And again, thank for everybody for your support. It's been fantastic. We're gonna keep doing these. I am in my office today, so I think I'm gonna film a few more videos, just a tip, answering questions. I think I'm gonna work on the tank, right? Because people want to know about the tank. And there's another one I wanted to do, and I think I'll probably do it anyway. Is what was it? Oh, it was Imperial Fist. It was doing an Imperial Fist. Imperial Fist. So I think I'm going to show that. I'm going to do something different for an Imperial Fist. So, but I am curious about the Nazdrag. That's not Nazdrag. Where's Nazdrag? Nazdrag? Screw it. Nazdrag yellow, because it kind of has a bit of a brown hue. So the contrast. So anybody again, it sounds like hype, but I am very excited about these colors and what they can do for people. And I'm very positive about them. So I think guys should at least check them out. Don't dismiss it right away. Don't dismiss it. Check them out for yourself. If you're close to a hobby place that's going to be putting on demos of these paints and lets you try them, or you can attend any cons that you're going to let Citadel's going to let people try them out. Don't just take somebody else's word for it. Don't take my word for it. Don't take anybody else's word for it. Try it yourself and form your own opinion. And if you still think the same way, great. If you don't, and it changed your mind, great. Right? So, I want to thank you guys tuning in today. I'm done. I don't think we can get any sillier than today. So, hopefully, again, you learned something. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you. And I will see you guys next week. Next week? Yeah, next week, because there's no tournaments or anything like that. That was the whole reason why I wasn't. Because normally this is on Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's all in the description. I'm getting the heck out of here. Ooh, get yourself some contrast paint. Yeah.